up, YouTube? Mr. Lyman C here, and today I want to discuss No Rest for the Wicked. Now, this was a game that I got to do a sponsorship of. This video is not sponsored and not part of that, but it was something that I felt I really wanted to do because I had such a blast. I'm going to go ahead and kind of play the stream a little bit while I talk, just because it was really cool, and I'm just gonna show it. So first off, the art style, or I guess I'll go back. First off, it's by Moon Studios, the creators of Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will-O-Wisp, or whatever the second one was. You can see that in the art. I think it definitely reflects. It doesn't look like the Ori game, like it's a different art style. Oh god, this part where I failed like 20 times. Let's jump ahead of this a second. Ori and the Will-O-Wisp, okay. But it was still like a really good look, right? I still thought it looked really pretty. It definitely had an artistic take on the game, and it didn't look like every other single game out there. Now, I do think this screen does look very much like your Elden Ring or your, any of your Souls games. I think this screen has got less of like an artistic, beautiful feel to it, but it's still totally fine. So what they tried to do with this game is they tried to really mix ARPG with a Souls-like game, which is something this is the direction I was hoping Diablo 4 would go. Like, I literally, when they announced Diablo 4, when they were talking about it, I was like, man, what if they gave us a Souls-like Diablo game? How cool would that be? To go in, have these epic boss fights against Diablo and all of these guys, and then just even have hard monster fights along the way. Unfortunately, we did not get that, but this game is trying to produce it, and I think it shows, and is a great blueprint here, that that is a solid model. So this game definitely plays more like a Souls game, but it has the isometric view and a little bit of kind of the RPG itemization and those sorts of pieces there attached with it all. It is really just interesting and fun, and it had good difficulty. It wasn't impossible though, so it definitely felt like a step down from a Souls game in terms of difficulty. So you weren't just like constantly frustrated dying over and over. I mean, you could. There was a couple bosses that I died, many times to, but at the same time, you still got challenge in those boss fights, which is something that the creators of this talked about. They discussed, hey, it's not very fun, like, for them, right? And this is also my opinion. Combat has gotten so insane in all of these modern ARPGs that it's just, right, stuff blowing up everywhere. The combat has lost meaning. And I think that is a very true statement. I'm just going to like bounce around to various things. I think that's a very true statement, overall. And that was something that I found refreshing to play in this game and walk out, and the first few monsters I'm fighting, I'm actually getting like meaningful combat, and I can go and die in like 3-4 minutes, right? It kind of reminds me of like fighting Rakanishu early on, and horseshoe crabs are not like difficult for fights, but let me see if I can find a good, that's some animation. Oh, this is me trying to fight this guy up here. This dude just kept like kicking my butt. So the fluidity, the action, the way, this is me trying to cheese that guy and fight him, like avoid fighting him because he was killing me so much. But the fluidity, all of that is really solid. You get your combat rolls, you get this stuff, you have your stamina, and again, it's got the Souls, but it has it in the ARPG manner, and there's just a lot of really fun, interesting interaction with it all. I couldn't cheese him, I died. And so I was very impressed, very happy with all of that. This was just kind of like the early Act 1 demo piece that I got to play here. So It doesn't have all sorts of stuff, but it does have, it does have some stuff. Here's one of the bosses, or the main boss of this area. And again, as well, this is something that I love, is a meaningful boss fight that has a lot of interaction, and has the Souls feel to it for sure. But you're in this isometric ARPG kind of view, and it has some of that stuff taken into it. You can see I'm still not amazing at the game. We're definitely learning and just having fun. Oh, almost got him. And yeah, so overall, I would say, like, I don't want to just go on forever and ever. I'm definitely happy just showing a little bit here and there, and showing some of the beauty of the game, because again, I think it does look really nice, and has a lot of just fun with the combat, with the items were even cool. The little glimpse that we got to see. So, for instance, I had a sword or an armor that was like cursed, right? So they have like white items, rare items, cursed items, and unique items. And so I had a cursed item, and the cursed item comes with benefits that are even better, like bigger, better affixes, but it also will have a negative. So one of the negatives on that one was you lose like 10% extra gold when you die or something like that. And I thought that's really cool. Like, I like the idea of there being negative affixes that they can throw on, to make the items, a little bit of that trade-off. And if you're like, well, I'm not going to die, then you don't really care about that. Or if you don't care about the gold as much, then great. So, yeah. So I just thought, like, it was a really nice itemization in there. I was very happy about it. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed playing it a lot. Oh, here you can see I ran out of food, so I'm just like dying. All right, we go there. Let me see. Go back to that fight. Oh yeah, here might be the time that I beat him. Maybe. Looks like it. Yeah, so it took a few tries, right? It took a few tries to kill him. What I also really liked was you definitely felt like the power of leveling up and improving your character that way, was like really great. So it was kind of again, within the RPG style of, if I level up, if I kill something, after that, if I grind a little bit, I'm going to feel more powerful really coming into these sorts of fights. So it gives you, I think, a little more ability to kind of brute force with grind, which I think is something that's really nice within the RPG genre and not within just the Souls games overall, right? I feel like in the Souls games, I always kind of struggled. Or not always struggle, but it's like, even if you kind of level up a little bit, you still struggle unless you really kind of get overpowered. But those fights can still be brutal. Here, I felt like if you went and grinded a couple more levels, the fight would definitely get a bit, like a decent amount easier, because you could just tank more. You'd have better gear. You'd have whatever. So yeah, they don't make you a walking death machine, but they don't make you like just a walking rag that's just going to get one shot all the time. I thought they did a fabulous job so far with mixing and matching and figuring out what all that was. Additionally, there were a lot of just fun, like, secret places kind of and things to do all around the map. That's something that they're really planning on. So again, I think I'm just like going to blabber on now. Let's ignore that. I will just end it here and say No Rest for the Wicked, April 18th, I think is when it's going into early access. Again, that was sponsored. This isn't sponsored. I just really am excited for this game. I think, wow, this is the ARPG that I've really been maybe excited to come out, right? Something that is coming in and adjusting and changing the genre a bit more. Than kind of the modern stuff that we've been seeing, which feels like it's just gotten a little stale. Just feels like it's recycling a lot of the same. So I'm excited to see the rest of this game. We'll see what happens. Mwah! Don't forget to like and subscribe, YouTube. Peace, everybody.